our channel influencer of the year, Janet Chines. Janet, how are you?
How are you? I'm very honored to be here with you guys. I'm stage struck
Well,
because you're here, both of you. I thought Digi would take over by now, so
yes.
feeling
I made
feeling
it.
happy to get to see you still, my friend.
We thought so too. Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate the fact that you are our channel influencer of the year. We were glad to bestow you on that, one of many accolades you've had in your career. What is it like to be an influencer? What is an influencer to you?
Well, at home or at work? Because at home I have
Well,
zero influence.
Really? Sounds about right.
Me too.
Okay, good. Just as long as we're all on the same path there. First of all, it was such a great honor. It was a huge thing for me. When I heard, I was just blown away. And I think to me, being an influencer comes down to three things. So the first is, do people trust you? Right? And trust, I think you earn in little tiny pieces, and you can lose a lot of trust in one great big
Sure.
thing. So I think trust. The second is, do people know who you are? It sounds silly, but a lot of times people don't. You can see people that have been channel chiefs for years and no one knows who they are. They've never met them. Their team shields them from, the unwashed mass that they think the channel is. And so the actually being known by people. And then I think the last thing is just being approachable and being part of the conversation, being in the conversation, whether it's in social media, at an event. Are you listening and learning and in the conversation? So that's what it means to me. But you gave me the tiara last night, so maybe I should throw it back and say, well, what did it mean to you?
No, I don't answer questions. I just ask them.
Well
No,
played.
that is a
Greg.
great answer, though. That's an excellent take, I think. Maybe people wouldn't have expected that.
So Janet, you certainly know what it means to be an influencer. So let's talk a little bit about your career progression and what it took to become an influencer.
Sure. So I'll start after college because, before that I did a whole bunch of weird, odd jobs. So I went
A
to school.
story for another time.
It's a story for a different time, right. There's ice cream involved. But there's always ice cream involved. I love ice cream. So I went to college for finance. I actually studied specifically under someone because I wanted to trade Euro bonds and Euro dollars, and I went to a company called Garvin Guy Butler in New York City. I was there 3 whole days with the hard-earned career that my parents' cash paid for, and they called me in and told me the great news that I had an interview at L'Oreal. And I said, but I don't know why I'd have an interview at L'Oreal because I have a job here. And then they lowered the other foot, which was, we don't think you're going to fit in here so much, so we thought you might do better in a sales and marketing career. And I went to L'Oreal, and while there, discovered the very first of the dealer franchise networks. And began to see a way of distribution that was not direct sales, whether it's in a retail store that resells your product, whether it's through salespeople, call centers, website, through social media. This concept of agent, dealer, reseller, partner, someone knitting together more than one product came to life for me, and I began to become very enamored of it. And then L'Oreal is owned by Cosmere, which also was owned by Nestle. So Sandoz is a Nestle company. I ended up going there, and in the course of that was introduced to a little company called IBM, who had a solution that they called WebSphere. And the folks came in and they pitched me on it, and I was very techie, geeky, always. I've been a Star Wars fan, et cetera, et cetera. Read the article. And they were speaking some level of English I could not understand. It was the worst presentation I'd ever seen. So I very nicely said, I really want this software. I was running all of Inside Sales at the time. Really want this software. You're never going to convince my boss to buy it with that, so let's redo your deck. And a career was born. So they offered to give me a consulting contract. I left Sandoz and took them on as my first tech consulting contract, and then went on to consult for tons of people until I was lucky enough to get the Motorola Symbol account. And they loved me so much while I was consulting. Oh, I love you. That they offered me their channel chief job. So they bought out my firm and brought me in as the channel chief. And so that was the beginning of me then being the channel chief for Motorola.
Very cool.
And then Verizon, who was very good friends with Motorola. At the time I went to Verizon, they didn't have the iPhone. And then ultimately, obviously, setting up that channel experience at Office Depot. And then here now, full circle, back to doing consulting and getting to help all the partners again and all the vendors again, which is great because it's so frustrating when you're the channel chief and you know how you could help one of your peers, but they frown upon that when you work for a different brand. So now I'm back and able to help. So that's a fast career track for Janet.
Well, one of the little known things about Coffee with Craig and Kevin is that we love breaking news, because normally we record this about 5 days in advance of it going live, so we never have that opportunity. So do you have anything for us, or will we see you working at any big brands in the near future? Breaking news.
So we have a lot of contracts with some very big name vendors, so I'm very excited about that, both in the carrier space as well as the tech space, and we're excited to be working with them on channel programs. And if history is any indicator of future, one of those channel programs that I'm building right now will end up being my ultimate home, if history is any indicator. But right now, we're consulting and very happy about it, and just having a ball with the channel.
Well, that's cool. We really enjoyed seeing at the Digi Awards, the Excellence in Digital Services Awards, where we gave out Digis. What'd you think last night?
I love that award ceremony. First of all, it was great to see the different solutions and the different categories. The names were snazzy too, so I like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was Lorna
That
Gary,
was
our
amazing,
editor-in-chief.
Lorna.
Yeah.
Well, she's phenomenal. But the whole look at the different solutions, and when I sat there, and I've been at this event for a number of years, when I sat there and thought back, call it 3 to 5 years ago, you wouldn't have heard any of those use cases at this event. You wouldn't have heard the partners doing that complex of solutions or consulting, many of them not even in those areas, and yet there they were, the top of the top, the best of the best, bringing solutions out to their end user customers and to the community at large. I was very impressed. Of course, most impressed was my tiara.
Of course.
And I will be wearing it to all social activities from now on. I understand a couple of the partners have now decided that my new name is Princess Channel.
I thought
Very
you already
nice.
had that name.
I thought I did too, but apparently it's official,
official now.
There's a hashtag, yeah.
You know, Janet, you talked about the channel aspect of the Digi Awards, but the most important thing is, what did you think of the hosts of the Digi Awards?
Oh,
I thought Digi was amazing. I got to take a picture with
He's
him.
kind of a cutie, isn't
He's
he?
a cute, he's a hottie.
yeah.
Come on. I am
You really
losing-
set us up for that
Yeah.
one. Come on, buddy.
I am
Come on.
losing a fake battle to a fake robot.
He's getting too
How
tired.
does that happen?
I know. We're sorry. We love you too. We were happy to see you there, and of course, Craig, the voice of the channel, was
Well, it was
there.
fun. It was a lot of fun.
amazing. It was amazing.
Janet, thank you for being here. Congratulations again on
you.
Channel Influencer of the Year, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you again real soon.
I'm sure you will. I'll tell you first any breaking news. That's my promise.
I appreciate it. Not
Okay.
just 5 days in advance?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
You're first.
Thanks so much, Janet.
Thanks for your
Okay.
time.
Thank you.